coach. You're feeling about this year's team at this point?
Excited. Obviously, we've added a lot of new guys, but when you combine our core group and those returning with the incoming group, has us feeling good just about the potential. And it's early. There's some things with the amount of new guys we have that we're hashing out, but love that we've got added talent and depth, toughness, and their attitudes have been great. So it's been a fun team to coach at this point.
Talk about a couple of the freshmen that I've seen a couple of workouts now. There's a couple that seem to stand out.
Yeah, they're kind of moving forward at a little bit of a different pace individually, but Jared Lucas has been one that has stood out, able to shoot the ball, making smart decisions, and then he surprises us with his toughness on the defensive end. Gianni Hunt really starting to get an idea of what we need him to do, and so now he's a little more comfortable than he was at the beginning, so he's taken a step forward. Then Big Tuck inside, he's been a pleasant surprise with his physicality, his ability to rebound, and now that he's starting to understand our offense a little bit, we're starting to see some of his skills there. Then Julian Franklin's the other freshman, kind of a combo forward, makes good decisions, can shoot, defend, tough kid. So they all bring different things, but they've got great attitudes, and they're talented in their own way, but also very, very tough group.
Jared Lucas in particular having a pretty good scoring reputation coming in after the records that he set in CIF last year. I mean, what does that do after losing a guy like Stevie, who was a key cog in the scoring of this team, to bring in a guy who seems that is his primary role, is to put the ball in the back?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously shown that he can do that at the high school level, but it's a big transition and leap to the Pac-12. And Stevie's a heck of a player to try to replace. I mean, Stevie could get his shot off against anybody, could shoot with range. We hope Jared will get to that. He's not quite as long as Stevie was, but we also can't expect him to just, right out of the gate do those things. But he's working hard, and I know he's a confident kid, so he'll be somebody that is in the mix early, as we know that we've got to have better shooters out there than we've had in the last couple of years, and he can certainly help along those lines.
Just first impressions, it's just a scrimmage, but it looked like there's more top to bottom talent that I've seen since you've been here.
I think it has the potential to be our deepest and most talented team. Again, in order for that to take effect, those new guys need to produce. And the fun thing is we've had guys that last year that got opportunity, and we didn't have much beyond that. And now we'll have a first wave of guys, and if they're not getting it done, it's nice that we've got a second wave that we can go to. And I know this, the level of competition and practice has brought the best out of everybody, and that's what you hope to have.
Banging the boards inside, how do you like your group, and talk about that?
Yeah, we're better in man than we are in zone. We've got to get better at rebounding out of our zone, but Kyler's made a much more conscientious effort. He's a guy that we feel should be getting 9 or 10 a game. Big Tuck, Roman, and that's good because we need Peyton to become one of those guys. Because if our bigs are rebounding it, then our guys like Trace and Ethan can be running the wings where they're very dangerous. Yeah. We haven't been able to take advantage of that because those two have been our leading rebounders. So we continue to focus on it. It's something that we work on every day in practice, but then they got to carry it out come game time. But hopefully we'll see a better presence there for sure with our bigs.
What's the biggest difference for Kyler been in the offseason? I know last year a lot of the focus was just stamina and just, keeping his feet under him and in the right place. I mean, what's been the biggest improvement for him on that end?
The big thing is just trying to improve his strength and conditioning. He's done that. He hasn't put on much weight, but he has gotten stronger. So he's seeking contact a little bit, which I don't think he's ever done that in his career. And what that's been able to allow him to do is play at a much more confident level. He's doing things in and near the basket, but away from the basket. He's just much more comfortable in his skin. We had a little scrimmage Saturday. People came and watched, and everybody noticed. He looks like a different guy out there. So I think being here for a year and in our program has helped, and the experience obviously from last year, but getting a little bit stronger has really helped his confidence grow.
Were you guys hoping he'd put on weight?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, he knows he needs to continue to put on weight.
You get Coach Trace for one more year. What are you looking for from him, and what does he need to do?
Just great leadership. We really want him. I think he's kind of been through it all with this team and had a lot on his shoulders. And I think the fact that this team's tougher and maybe pays, I don't know if it's the IQ, but their attention to detail's better. His mindset going into this year, he really believes in who he's out there with. So I think it's going to allow him to free his mind up a little bit more, and the more relaxed he'll be, I think his numbers will improve, shooting the ball, and his impact on the game even. But leadership's the big thing, and we've put the ball in his hands more this offseason. We will in the upcoming season, because he's such a good decision maker and he sees the floor so well. So I know he'll have a different role along those lines, and I'm excited to see it out of a fifth-year guy. You should expect that kind of growth, and I know he's chomping at the bit to get it started.
And do you see more scoring on this with this group so it can take some pressure off Trace?
I hope so. I mean, we have to shoot it better. We didn't shoot it very well from three last year as a team. I don't think the line moving back is going to affect that. The fact that we have more threats in the paint will help us, because we'll make the defense collapse maybe more than we were able to a year ago. And then we'll see those numbers go up shooting. So as we shoot it better, the scoring will go up.
You and Scott agreed to that extension that keeps you here through, I believe it's the 2023 season. What was just sort of the conversation that was had there as you guys agreed to continue?
Yeah, well, you know, it had been in the works for a long time. We met in the spring after the season, you know, talked about all that we'd accomplished last year and the winning league record. And so it was really after that when we could just get down, sit down together and get it hammered out. There wasn't a negotiation process. You know, we had summer camps, recruiting. He had his deal, so we agreed we would wait till the school year got done to just finalize it. But it's great to just have the support, continued support from the administration, and them believing in the way we're doing things both on and off the court.
Pac-12, any early takes on what the conference is going to be like this year?
It's going to be better, obviously. I think with, you know, some of the teams that typically have great years being a little down, I guess is what they said a year ago, it gave other programs an opportunity to strengthen. And so with those teams now coming back, and, you know, everyone's mentioning Arizona, UCLA, I think top to bottom, it's going to be a very deep, talented league. And I know we're excited because we think we've got as good a chance as anybody to compete and to win. So we're excited to, you know, get through the preseason, obviously not get ahead of the horse, but use the preseason to prepare us for what we know is going to be a tough Pac-12 race.